Guten Tag, my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. Are you there? It's me, Margaret. Anyhow, so today we're talking about my lethal weapon setup. Going to talk a little bit about lethal weapons because there has only been one lethal weapons. Now, what the fuck is lethal weapons, and how many times can we say lethal weapons before an entire paragraph ends about lethal weapons? So, lethal weapons is it's a retro rifle event in Texas. It is promoted by Dissident Arms and AKX, who you would know for Kalash Bash. Now, Kalash Bash, that'd be AK Experience. So, now Kalash Bash, that is a local, well, I should say at this point, regional Texas AK event, because we do have some pretty big events at this point. You know, we do have like a Midwest event with Kalashnikon. We do have a West Coast event with Red October, and we do have our I guess, you know, Southwest event with actually it's a way farther closer to Louisiana, so we'll just say the South event, you know, with Kalash Bash. Now, in the communities, both AR and AK, we're always talking about blah, 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 AR versus AK. You'll find a million of them fucking videos, and they're, like, crazy cringe. Like, crazy cringe. It's like, you know, let me fucking compare my Glock 43X to a fucking 50 BMG or something like that. Like, you know, they're two different fucking things, dude. I don't give a shit. So, anyhow, today I wanted to show off my rifle, talk a little bit about the event, and then next video, I think we'll talk a little bit more about the rifle and do the normal thing I like to do, because, like, straight up, like, I've said it before, man, this is really turning probably more into a history channel than a straight up AK channel at this point, you know? I mean, I've been doing a lot more history, and, you know, I've been describing having scripts on the back burner and stuff like that for some longer upcoming episodes, and 100% of them are all history. And yeah, it does relate to AKs and stuff like that. I mean, it's my passion. It's the blood that runs through me and fuels me, you know. It's so, you know, we're gonna be talking about some, you know, you can see my fucking protein shake here. Let me move that out of the frame. Like fucking goddamn, like what was that show? Was it Game of Thrones or something that had like a Starbucks cup people were like freaking out about? Here, we're gonna put it over here like an Easter egg. Anyhow, so, Lethal Weapons Texas, retro rifle event down here in Texas. That is at the ranch where Kalash Bash is held. I'm sorry if that was a little redundant, but I like to make fun of redundancy. It's, you know, it's fun, man. I'm sorry. I'm a dork. I'm a goofy. So, anyhow, there has been one Lethal Weapons event, and at that Lethal Weapons event, I ran an AK-74. Currently, I am holding the rifle I intended to bring, but I actually only had one magazine for it at the time, and the tracking on the mags that I had ordered was, you know, I had to order them at the last minute, honestly, because I was broke as fuck. And this was like right after I got shot. So, so, you know, I ended up just saying, fuck it, let's go 5.45, and that was like the best fucking choice I think I possibly could have made, because probably within a month is when the prices on 5.45 started skyrocketing, you know. So it was nice to be able to dump like 600 rounds at 5.45 one last time, you know. That was real nice, especially with a nice Bulgarian 74 with my favorite fucking furniture on it that I own, that, you know, multiple people say, you know, that's gonna break, bro. I mortar rounds with that shit. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you know, it's my 1-1 stock, which is, you know, effectively a PSL stock, and it's, you know, chopped into like a L hook, you know. And dude, I'll mortar with that thing, dude. That wood is fucking That laminate's strong, dude. It's really strong. It's really dense, too. So anyhow, I ran the AK-74 and did all stages and everything. Everything fucking went great. No malfunctions. The reason I ended up at Lethal Weapons, I thought I was gonna miss that motherfucker, man. I was so sad that whole, like, couple weeks leading up to it that I wasn't gonna be with my friends and all that shit, and wasn't gonna be, like, dressing up in a goofy costume and all that, because actually I was going to, I had Jesus Christ, brain freeze. I had a pass, I had registered to go to the first Midnight Brutality, and that just was, number one, the first one was $500 for the entry, and then at the time I was going to meet up with Tony from VC Optics, and he was going to sponsor me some nods for the event. And so if you need some nods, check out VC Optics. VC as in like, I mean, I don't know. Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, he's such a good friend, and it just dawned on me, I have never once asked him what VC stands for. So we'll go with Viet Cong. It's the obvious one, but yeah. VC Optics, man. He's a fantastic dealer, dude. Like, I don't know if he's still doing builds. I don't know if he's still doing builds, but man, when it comes to like just, if you need someone that's going to walk you through what you need and all that shit, and walk you through the process of getting into nods and all that, there is no better than Tony, if you ask me. I mean, I've been around a billion people like demoing nods and all that shit, and Tony is by far the, like, I mean, man, his willingness to, like, you know, clap $46,000 on your head so that you can get the experience, and then put a gun in your hand with a fucking laser so you could see what it's like and shit like that, you know, it's awesome, dude. It's awesome. Anyhow, so was going to go over to Midnight Brutality, and, you know, that looked like a real fun event, but at the last minute, especially with what I was, you know, describing, you know, after you get shot, it's very, very fucking expensive, you know, like your whole life is fucked up, especially when you're, you know, like a person like me that's by themselves, you know. I don't have like a wife or family around here or anything like that, so pretty financially devastating, and it was coming up to the last, you know, like couple weeks beforehand, and I was like, man, Tony, like, you know, are you sure you're going, you know? And he's like, honestly, I'm not sure either. I don't know. And I'm like, man, because we did spend a lot on that entry, and, you know, this is gonna be another like $1,000–1,200 or something by the time it's all done with ammo and fucking, you know, travel and all that, maybe even more, because, you know, it's a fucking gonna be there for a couple days. So decided, you know what, I could do that, or I could just purchase this ticket to Lethal Weapons for $240 and get the fuck over there. I think that's how much it was. And so I did that. And so at the last minute, I had to throw together a costume because it is a themed event. The theme of Lethal Weapons, it's kind of 80s, 90s action movies, really, because, you know, this is a retro rifle thing, you know, so, like, maybe next one, I'd like to see them actually, like, push the theme a little more vintage. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have modern guns and all that, but it'd be kind of cool to see, like, you know, fucking, like, Vietnam era or Korea theme or some shit like that. I don't know, you know, like fucking, like the boomer theme or something, you know, go like 50s to the 70s or something like that. Cause we're doing like 80s and 90s right now, really. And, this current upcoming Lethal Weapons, they have not announced a solid theme for it yet. Probably just sticking with the 80s, 90s action movie thing, which is totally fucking cool because it's fun as shit. It would be kind of cool to have a yearly event that's just like one specific theme, honestly, you know. But anyhow, you know, I do first Lethal Weapons and everything. It goes great. I had to put together my costume for the week and everything coming up to that. And my costume was Sasha from Behind Enemy Lines. So, cue ding up the photo here, you know. I don't know if I have one. Go watch the video. I described the trouble with getting this video out already previously, and I admitted I'm a fucking idiot, dude. Like, I am seriously that inept with computers. Like, And also I do seriously burn up memory, like, or burn up storage like that. I mean, it's bad. It's real bad. And today I have just let it go and I'm filming on the phone. So I'm willing to bet there is probably no visual difference between the two. Honestly, I'm willing to bet. Because I have like I do actually have the color settings, all that shit set up very similar, so you could use both of them at the same time and not have to do too much color correction between the two. Big brain shit, bitch. So I'll be willing to bet you can't even tell the difference. Anyways, maybe with sound, y'all let me know about the sound. I actually did just pick up some mics and shit like that, so sound will be improving around here. You know, I mean, I was actually kind of. You know, even though I'm a sound guy and I've always, sorry, this is going to just be a battle video, man, because we're not doing the history today. We're just talking lethal weapons and we're talking, you know, the weapon I'm going to be using at lethal weapons. But, you know, anyhow, I won't fuck with you. I won't fuck with you. Let's just keep going. I was Sasha from Behind Enemy Lines. And, yeah, that costume was fucking awesome, dude. You know, like, let's not do a cut here. You know, that's what I was going to diverge into, you know, is my memory problems here with the storage and all that, blah, 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 and that I had to delete some things. I did actually do that. I'm a fucking idiot. So, just go watch my Lethal Weapons video. It's, honestly, I think it's a fun video myself. I enjoyed actually cutting that one together. So, go check out my other Lethal Weapons video. Yeah, I was Sasha from Behind Enemy Lines, so, you know, I was very happy to do that, and, you know, I don't give a fuck what Commando Store is doing, so, you know, you don't even need to comment about it. Fuck those neo-Nazis. So, anyway, it doesn't look like we're wearing Flectarn. Just had to have the best, man, know what I mean, Vern? So, we've gone a little bit through just babbling, like, what is this bullshit? People are bringing out their, you know, you see a lot of carry handles, you know. You see a lot of, shit, I think on Mini 14, Zach Schaefer shooting the, I think it was a VZ Scorpion with an original imported suppressor. And I think was he shooting 32? I can't remember, man, but it was fucking cool, dude. It was fucking cool. Look up Schaefer Customs, Mr. Schaefer. You know, it's traditionally spelled on Instagram, but, you know, his website and all that, it's actually a little play on his name. It's C-H-E-F-U-R, Shepper. So, but, yeah, other media, you can go check it out if you want to go deep dive back into that. His setup was so fucking cool, if you ask me. Anyhow, the rules of it are, if you're going to be using an AR, there's no red dots allowed, by the way, and iron sights only. If you're using an AR, it cannot be a flat top, got to be a carry handle. There were a couple different divisions, so, you know, I think I might have even seen a Garand hanging around there or something like that. I mean, about the only people that did not understand this, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it was the Magpool guys who showed up with fucking LPVOs and machine guns and shit like that, and it's like, you know, even the presence of the LPVO is fucking up the whole thing here. Thanks, guys. Seriously, it was like you were that entrenched in it, and it was so fucking cool, man. It was so fun. You could see on the stages how much fun I was having. Dude, the Scarface stage, you know, you sat up, 9-hole reviews where Henry films his shit up on that actual riser. They had set up, you know, table, cocaine, and all that shit, and then targets down below. And then you had a little bit of a long range thing. Because it's all iron sights, you're not doing those 600s or nothing like that. I think it was maybe 200, 250. It wasn't crazy. But anyhow, yeah, so yeah, fucking, you know, shooter, are you ready? Say hello to my little friend. Gunk, 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 gunk. It was fucking cool, bro. So we're expecting some crazy shit coming up here, man, because, like, how you gonna outdo that? How you gonna outdo that? You know, seriously. we're looking forward to seeing. Now, apparently, so yeah, that is the basic rules. Other than that, it's a fucking competition, you know. Get 2 on fucking paper, keep moving, don't shoot nobody, blah, 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 blah. But that's the basic gist of it. It's, you know, carry handle ARs only, no red dots, you know. There actually was an improved list of firearms too, so you got to check that out. If it's not on the list, you know, email and double check and all that bullshit. But anyhow, I shot my AK-74, and 15 minutes into this, we're going to finally get to what I intended to shoot at the first Lethal Weapons and what I will be shooting at this Lethal Weapons. Dum, 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 dum. Ow, ow! C93. If you didn't understand why I'm wearing the Flecktarn. So these were originally made by HK. This is a C93. These were imported and assembled by Century Arms. So you know, it's not an AK. This is fucking badass. They built it correctly, and you know, these do descend from the G3 platform, so, you know, it's not the craziest fucking gun to build, you know. I mean, about the only one I seen fuck up a goddamn G3 was, you know, a G3 platform was PTR, but, you know, I've seen some varying quality out of those guns. You know, some of them very nice, some of them like, Jesus Christ, you know, so maybe QC thing, I don't know. That was just my experience, not saying it's a shit brand. I'm not saying they're DSA. Anyhow, so the C93, what is this fucker? You know, it's a roller delayed 5.56. You know, you see the like original G3 platform, or what you're gonna know as a HK91. You know, it's the, you know, descending from a 308. This is a 5.56. They do come in the US with 2 different barrel lengths. However, they originally had, I think it was 16.25 inch barrels. The Century imports are built on, if I remember correctly, like I said, we're not doing the big history thing on this. I don't have my notes and all that, blah, 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 and my memory is motherfucking terrible. So if I remember correctly, these are built on Thai parts kits, because there are some Thai variants of the HK93. These did come in the US. You know, issued, they did come with 30s, you know, let's get fucking real. They came with 30s and 40s, you know, but in the US, they came with 40-round magazines, and they're really nice mags, honestly. You know, kind of similar to an AR mag, you know, just very similar, very lightweight. You can hear the tap. It's, you know, it feels like tin, sounds like tin. They're surprisingly robust. Big problem with these, though, is even though they are robust, and they, you know, these are very fucking expensive, unfortunately. So the fact that they even include one, it's like, you know, well, excuse me, when people sell them these days, when they actually include one, they're doing you a fucking favor, you know, because there are other mags for these, you know. You can find other mags for them. MKE out of Turkey does make some C93 mags, or HK93 mags, but these original HK metal ones, they're very, very, very nice, you know. Oops, I don't think I got it in there right. There we go. They have this interesting thing to them where they are like a combo of straight insert and rock and lock. Here, it's got a nice little button release like a AR. So watch how the mag goes in. So here, line it up. This is a straight insertion. You notice how it clicks into the back? So you pop that back out. To actually put it in there solidly, you're gonna have to go. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's really neat like that. What's super cool is some HKs will have a release right here too. So it's, you really do have the best of both worlds. This particular lower on here, obviously it's not an HK lower. If I remember correctly, this is something they came up with actually for the US market, because you're not going to be able to put a full auto trigger pack on there because of this fucking bar over here. Can you change that up? Dremel go brr. This optics mount on here, this was just some Amazon shit I actually tried out just to see if it actually holds zero, and got it for, I think, $14, man. And shockingly, it works very, very well. I shouldn't say shockingly because, I mean, let's get real, dude. It's not about the manufacturer. It's about their fucking, it's about the you know, CNC files that you give them, really, you know? Like, if your CNC's, you know, if your shit's solid and you've QC'd it yourself, chances are, you know, you pick the right manufacturer in China, you're probably going to find some pretty okay shit. And it really depends on you as a business, how much you want to actually check up on their QC and all that, you know? Like, I've had a few friends that manufactured things in China, and they actually, like, flew out there to go check out the facilities, see, you know, check out their QC process, give them some, like, you know, like, you can tell them, like, this is how I want my QC process to be, blah, 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 you know? Stuff like that, you know? It's like your company compliance sort of thing, you know? So, yeah, it's some Chinese Amazon shit, but it does hold zero. So if you're looking for like a mount for a C93, check this thing out, because I don't know what they're costing these days. I bought it quite a few years ago at this point, and it was like $14 at the time, and it holds fucking zero perfectly fine. It's exactly the same as an HK claw mount pretty much, except it has Allen screws up here, so you're gonna have to just put some blue Loctite on them. So after the blue Loctite's on there and you crank it down, it's solid. It's solid. I took a rubber mallet and tried to knock it around, and it still held zero. So pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Of course, you have the standard HK barrel sights. They're fantastic sights. You know, I really like them because, you know, your Battle Zero is a notch, and then, you know, you graduate into diopters, which I really, you know, I tend to like that, actually, because I don't like diopters very much, you know. They're great for, you know, precision and a little bit of long range, but I don't personally like them for the Battle Zero myself, you know. Like some regular old, like a carry handle AR or something like that. I mean, I actually at Lethal Weapons did borrow my buddy's just for fun, you know. It wasn't because of a malfunction, but for fun, I borrowed my buddy Justin Mershon's M16 for the long range stage. Just, you know, like whatever. There's multiple, you know, long range at stages at Lethal Weapons, so yeah, that was a lot of fucking fun, man. Just picking up a rifle I've never even shot before and just going at it on a fucking, you know, major competition and shit like that. So that was pretty cool. And that fucking rifle was dope, dude. I made it through the stage just fine. Of course, it has diopter, and you know, it took me a second to get used to that. You know, it was great for the long range and the precision shots and everything, and that was the perfect rifle for that stage. But if I had to use it all the time, like, you know, I don't have it handy, but I do have these flip-up diopters, and I notched like a V into the you know, one of the diopters so that I could just use it like a notch sight, and then I zeroed it like that, and it works really well. It's super fucking ghetto, but, you know, because it flips up a little higher, it's, you know, like it's like a fucking EOTech iron sight, basically. Pretty cool. I wish I had it handy to show. I was probably going to do that on the Gen 1 Galil Ace, honestly, because I liked it so much. But we'll see. We will see. Anyhow, obviously it's not the greatest when you're flipping the diopters, so if you're just looking for Battle Zero with a diopter, maybe consider something like that. I like it. It's cool. So, it's kind of like the trick with AKs where you, I will have to credit Mario Parada, as I usually do for these fucking magic tricks the guy comes up with. He's kind of the one that let us all know about it, really, but anyhow, 0 at 50... throw your sight barrel on your AK. 0 at 50, throw your sight barrel on 100. With 5.45 and 5.56. Not as effective with 5.56, extremely effective with 5.45, but it is still very effective with 5.56. I have not personally noticed any efficacy in a 0 like that, because, you know, you're raising the sight up a little bit, so you're just giving yourself just a little more comfort level, and dude, it really works really fucking well. Really well. So outside of like a comfort factor with 7.62, I just haven't noticed any huge difference on the precision of my shots with it. But I mean, it's 7.62. You know, maybe Mario could speak a little more to that because, you know, I know he didn't originate that because, you know, there's people doing this shit in the 80s actually, because of the tumble trajectory of a 5.45 round, which people always say 50. I believe actually it's been identified around somewhere like 37 yards or something like that. So anyways, yeah, so outside of a comfort factor, I just never really noticed a big thing with the 7.62s. So yeah, maybe check out, you know, check that out on your AKs with 5.56 and 5.45. Now back to the C93. What is super cool about this thing, I mean, it does come with the birdcage flash hider, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is in that fucking HK pitch. What the fuck is that HK pitch, man? I don't have my notes handy, you know. I am an AK person. It is, it's a, we'll just call it German 14 by 1 left hand. I'm kidding. I forget what the thread pitch is, but you know, it's a little funky finding compensators for this thing, so I didn't really look too hard when I first got this thing. It's kind of a cool shooter in factory form. I think it's a really neat gun altogether, and plus carry handles, dude. Carry handles. I mean, they just make life cooler. But I mean, honestly, I do like the addition of carry handles, and I mean, it's all right on a foul and everything like that. I mean, obviously handy on, you know, fucking, dude, you see them on RPKs, that shit is fucking dope, dude. But it's obviously handy with like heavier machine guns and shit like that. But dude, with a light little rifle like this, you're like fucking walking around the range like, got my man purse. It's fucking awesome. Love it. Anyways, yeah, so different trigger pack. You know, you're not going to be able to put a full auto trigger pack in here. You know, there's those semi-auto HK trigger packs around. I don't know if those slip right in or anything. I actually never really cared to try. And obviously, I have not done the work on it to slip in a full auto trigger pack because I don't have one laying around or anything. Now, when I said the mags were very expensive, yeah, these things are like $75 a piece. $75 fucking dollars a piece. And I did mention MKE makes some really cool translucent orange mags with couplers on them. They're only 30s though. And they're fairly cheap. They're like 30, 35 bucks, something like that. Those are available. They're very cool mags, honestly. But, you know, there is a mag manufacturer that makes some really shitty AK mags, but I actually haven't really had a problem with their HK mags myself personally. So I've been running them, and I intended to show off. I have 2 of those MKEs, but I am a hack and a fraud, and I gotta be frank, I am not sure where I put them. So, you know, whatever. Let's get to what I was actually talking about. So, $75 metal HK mag. Pro mag. Yeah, that piece of shit Pro mag, you know. Sorry, Pro mag, I don't mean to be like that. It's just, you know, your mags for AKs, you know, I'm an AK guy. They're really bad. They're real bad. These things, pretty damn good. Pretty fucking good. I mean, they're polymer, obviously. Not worried about throwing them on the ground and all that shit. Great lockup. You know, you do feel a chunkiness difference because these are nice and thin and everything. But other than that, man, surprisingly pretty nice mag for pro mags. I mean, pro mags usually, like, I think I actually have a AK pro mag sitting here, come to think of it. I saw some piece of shit mag I had just thrown somewhere. I was like, don't need that. Is it still sitting here? Is it still sitting here? Oh. See what I mean? It fell on the ground. That's how much I pay attention to it. So, here, zoom in. You know, it's a pretty decent mag, man. Pretty decent mag. Obviously, without holding it, feeling it, you know, running it a little bit, you're not going to know. But, you know, this is one of those Pioneer, or Pro Mag. Yeah, it's branded from Pioneer. These are shit, dude. You can, like, flex them in. Can you see that? They're so shitty, dude. Some of them, like, dude, they're like all different sizes. Some of them fit in, some of them don't. It's like, what the living fuck? The molding on them is so bad, dude. Like, oh my God. It's so cheap. It's actually a different polymer composite than this too, you know? It's totally, like, this is like more of a, dude, it's like ABS or some shit, you know? It's like, or like a PVC, excuse me. It's like really, really cheap shit. And this is more similar to like the polymer on a Magpul. I'm not a plastics guy. I'm not a plastics genius. You know, my partner with Vitamin K, John, he could probably answer that question a little better for me because he definitely is more of a plastics guy than I am. But, yeah, the Made in USA Pro Mags for the HKs, I'm finding them solid, personally. But I will admit, these particular ones, I have not run a whole lot of rounds through. I really just went out to go function check them and everything, and probably ran maybe, what, 100 rounds through each mag, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. So, I did look around on Reddit, and some people complained about them, and I did not experience what they were experiencing whatsoever. So I don't know if it's something like maybe with these AK mags, where there's a huge variance in their sizing or something like that, and fucking huge variance in the quality of their molding and shit like that, because that's a real problem with these particular Pro Mags. They're just like, dude, the molds are all so fucked up, dude. You see all these, like, where is it? Yeah, like on the fucking weld right there, you just see this big old fucking gouge into it, into the plastic, and like that was molded into it. Like, what the fuck is that, bro? So, yeah, I mean, if you need some cheap mags, these Pro Mags, they work. You know, there's the reason I chose these particular to try out was because they are 40 rounders, and it is nice to match the 40 rounder thing, because like I said, MKE mags are 30 rounders. And oh, you can also find these metal mags in 30 rounders. Oddly enough, very often the 30 rounders will actually be more expensive than the 40 sometimes. Really depends where you're buying, but very often, for some reason, you'll see like the 30 rounder for like 85 bucks, and you'll see the 40 rounder for like 70, 75 bucks, man. It's fucking weird. I don't know what current prices are like today. We'll have to check that out for next episode, you know, actually not be a hack and a fraud. But, you know, like I said, I'm going to deep dive a little more into this rifle next episode. I really just wanted to talk about the setup, show off the rifle. Oh, of course, you get to, you know, do that. Should show you the trigger maybe, because, you know, it's not an AK trigger. So, you know, you could discern a little bit from how much I'm braking and pulling on this, or pulling and braking on this. So let's do the, here, I'm gonna get my face out of it so it'll actually focus. And it's all the travel you have. And then it's braking pretty heavy. It's like 6-7 pounds, maybe even a little more. It feels very militaristic, but the brake on this trigger pack they came up with is pretty fucking crisp, you know, honestly, it really is. It really is. I didn't have to lock it. It's just fucking, yeah. So let's do that one more time, just so you can see one more time. Just trying to double check this shit's focusing, because I'm not trying to be that much of a hack and a fraud. So what will you call that? Maybe 2 millimeters, maybe 3 millimeters. Oh, micrometer handy. No, it's I would actually be interested in seeing that, because that's a really, really short amount of travel. And then here, let's just do it with the pinky. So it's a bit of a press, you can see. Now, if I pulled over, here we go. The old Draco Projects is right here. So just pull the mag out. Let's double check. Now, let's watch this one and compare, since, you know, primarily an AK channel. Zero travel. Zero fucking travel. It just breaks. So, that's an ALG. That's an ALG. Do I have any military? Yes, actually. Okay. So, all right. So here's a factory military AK trigger. I'll do it. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. Cover my fucking dumb face so it'll focus. So, I'm gonna do that one more time. The break is radically different on AK, obviously, but be real careful. There it is. There's the wall. Bam. So, this one, what do you think that was? Maybe about 4 to 5 millimeters of travel, but the break is very clean. It's very, very crisp. So this is an Arsenal. That's the, I wanted to keep that particular rifle very, very factory, just very AKM. I think it had like a G2 or something in it. I don't know. It's got a military, like a surplus military trigger in there now. Bulgarian surplus military trigger. So, it's got a real clean break on it. It's definitely a little worn in, but, you know, you got a little bit more travel actually on the military trigger with this C93 trigger, which you will notice it's definitely not an HK grip. Do I have another? Yeah, I do have it handy. Sorry, we're gonna do it like show and tell style. Like I said, I'm just kind of chucking this video together for y'all. The big boy. Double check this motherfucker's got no round in it, because this will put a goddamn hole into next Tuesday. So, notice the difference in the trigger packs. And the big difference in the grips. It's very, very AR-like. That's actually a G, or not a G3, a, whatchamacallit, fucking, you know, after the G3, blah, blah, blah. Brain farting right now. Set me. It's a, other way around, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a set me trigger pack. Dude, brain fucking farting. I got coffee in that motherfucker. I do. So, yeah, you got a bit of a variance with the grip. Functionally, I mean, obviously, if you didn't notice there, you got a actual metal trigger pack. This is polymer. It's fine. It's very, very lightweight. You're not dealing with gas, so it's not a it's not an AK, so you don't have to worry about, like, you know, the pressure inside there or anything like that. It's not an AR, you know, you don't have to worry about that, even though the very effective polymer lowers are available these days. Those, is it KE Arms? The Russell Fagan from that does stuff with in-range TV. I don't know if at this point you also call him in-range TV. I don't know. Russell Fagan, Sinestro Rifleman. Anyhow, yeah, they make some very effective polymer lowers, AR lowers, and this, you know, you're not dealing, like I said, this is a roller lock gun, so you're roller delay gun, so you're not dealing with pressure inside here, so it can be fucking plastic all day long, and you're just dropping weight. And the addition of an AR style grip obviously is very welcome, because, you know, it makes it very familiar. However, shit, dude, if I could find a surplus trigger pack for this, they're very, very expensive. If I could find a nice, decently priced surplus trigger pack for this thing, that would be pretty fucking cool. Definitely would like to play with the furniture, although these Thai imports, you know, they come, this is not the type of furniture it has from the HK factory, but still got the bipod mount on here, so pretty cool.
What's up, dude?
So anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I hear people coming home, coming in and all that shit, so stay safe, have fun, be stupid.